Welcome to the Phoenix Prosperity Podcast, where wealth meets legacy. Join your host, Tim Fergestad, as we explore the journeys of Phoenix's finest to success and beyond.
All right. Hello, this is Tim Fergestad. Thank you for joining us. I'm very pleased to have Janet McConnell with me here today. Janet is redefining what it means to age, empowering those over 45 to break free from limits, embrace wellness, and live their most vibrant, purposeful years yet. Welcome to the show, Janet.
Thank you so much, Tim. I appreciate the time. I'm looking forward to our conversation.
Yeah, thank you. Me too. So, Janet, before we get into maybe your background and how you got here, tell us about your current focus and the big mission of your life at this point.
Right now, the thing I'm the most excited about is being a professional speaker. And I am already participating on many stages, and I'm trying to grow into the point where I can have the broadest audience possible because my message has impact. It
Sure.
has impact on people's lives, and I feel the burden of what I know and what I need to share.
Okay, excellent. And yeah, I mean, what's more impactful than health, right? And being able, what's the saying? A healthy person has 1,000 dreams, and a sick person has one, right?
That's
You can't.
exactly right.
Yeah, it's obviously the most important priority for everyone. So, I want to get the language right too for this talk, because there's a difference between lifespan and health span.
Correct. Yeah.
Right.
Yes. We talk a lot about, the age that we are, but the number on the calendar does not denote what kind of life that will be.
Sure.
So a long-lived life is only a pleasure if it's a well-lived life. And we can enjoy the last decade or two of our lives with joy and grace and fulfillment and participation in society. When
Right.
we lose our agency and our strength, that definitely quickly diminishes the experience we have and doesn't make it sound fun to live a long time. I mean, I always
Sure.
say people are more afraid of getting old than they are of dying, and I want to change that.
Okay. Yeah, it's a good way of phrasing it. A couple of thoughts came to my mind there. One, there's a lyric in a Toby Keith song that I quite liked, because you mentioned it, age being a number, right? And I think that the line is how would you live if you didn't know the day you were born, right? If you got up and you didn't know your age, you just got up to go make the best of your day in your life every day. That's a better frame of mind, I think.
Yes. Yeah, I think about Bon Jovi's It's My Life, It's Now or Never. I ain't gonna live forever. I just want to live while I'm alive. Well, that's
Nice.
what I want.
Yep. Okay. Now, in terms of the other thing I was reminded of is I don't remember where, but it was just in Japan in general. I think there's over 100,000 centenarians now in Japan.
Mhm.
Wow. And
Yeah, there are a lot of blue zones. Well, not a lot. There's a handful of blue zones around the world, and Okinawa is one of them. Sardinia is one. There's one in Loma Linda, California. There's one in Italy, Greece. I'm sorry, Greece. And there's a couple of others around, but
okay.
they're known for having a huge amount per capita of centenarians. Yes.
Right. Okay. So could you define for our listeners blue zones?
The blue zones. Okay, this was a study that took place in the early 2000s. It was a son of a social scientist, and he was interested in why there were these pockets where people just for some reason just bloomed and lived longer. And then he got curious why. So he wrote an article. I believe it was in National Geographic. It was some large periodical like that. I might have that wrong.
No, I think that's
Yeah. And so he studied it and he published this article, and it, even before viral was a thing, it went viral. And so it ended up being a book and a big topic. And they were able to identify some of the things that each of them had in common, even though they're very different cultures. I mean, some of the blue zones are vegetarian, some are pescatarian, some are Mediterranean. So the diet was varied, but it was all whole foods, not processed. So that was part of it. Also, the people that live in those zones move every day. They
Right.
walk or run or swim. Some of them still jog. They swim. They move, bicycle.
Mhm. Right.
And then the third leg of the stool was community. They were
Right.
rich in their shared community of and felt like they were integrated into their society and had a voice and a place. And so
And
those were the three identifiers of a blue zone. And the centenarians, of course, is the largest per capita population over 100.
right. Okay. So uh similar back to not just aging or living longer, but actually having longer quality of life, increased health span, right? And
Right.
what are some of the things you teach and practice along those lines?
Well, as a neurosurgeon, you're going to be very interested in this because I found this experience in my practice as a personal fitness trainer that I had like a handful of clients who had neurodegenerative disease,
Hmm.
early stage Parkinson's or early stage MS. And they came to me, their doctors sent them to me to increase their core strength, have better balance, better proprioception, which
Right.
in regular talk is where are you in the world and being able to keep
Right.
balance. And so it was great. Then they were very, I mean, they had a mission because they wanted to live well longer, knowing that
Sure.
they were fighting this incurable disease that is degenerative. So this is what happened. This is like over the last 4 years or so. They started coming back from their regular neurologist and or where they would go to get their meds checked to make sure that their symptoms were managed with
Mm-hmm.
the pharmaceuticals, not too much, not too little, so
Okay.
that they lived comfortably. And they would come back from their doctor's appointment and they would say, "My doctor can't figure out why I'm not getting worse." Because this is a doctor who would know kind of the general consensus, the general trend
Sure.
line of going downhill, and it should
Hmm.
happen at a certain pace. I mean, there's a range, but next year they come back. I'm still taking the same amount of medication to control my tremors or, whatever it is.
Right.
And they've never seen this before. And the only thing I could think is there's something going on here with strength training. I'm a strength trainer.
Hmm.
And so we're doing big, heavy weights, obviously progressively and
Sure.
safely. And they were strong and confident and happy and
Hmm.
feeling like a bit of self-efficacy through that process. And I thought, okay, here's three or four people from with different diseases who have the same outcome of not getting worse. I don't know what's going on here. So I dug into the research and started reading abstracts and journals and articles about how strength training has now become one of the most important things to
Hmm.
fight neurodegenerative disease. Either slow it down, can't stop it completely, but to slow it down, or if you have it in your genetics, you can actually stave off onset. And
Right.
it's because what happens, especially with the large leg muscles, is even though we're older, as we get to middle age, we start producing less BDNF, which is brain
Mhm.
derived neurotropic factor. And it's this substance that's like miracle grow for neurons. And where most of them live is right up here, right?
Right.
And when you do leg exercises like squats and lunges and all of the big your thigh muscles, your hamstrings, your quads, and your glutes, those are your biggest muscles.
Yep.
And you really release a lot of BDNF quickly. And it doesn't stop here. It goes up into the brain
Right.
and it starts to rewire. It keeps the brain very plastic so that you can learn and grow. It keeps the brain active. You can rewire around trouble, if there's like a lesion or something in your brain.
Right.
And now, and it's just very recent that it's been long enough studied so that there's enough longitude to it and there's a large enough sample size. And now we have a nice big chunk of peer reviewed, double blind studies that
Right.
prove that actually strength training is one of the most powerful things you can do for brain health. And so that's
Sure.
like my definite like soapbox for the last couple of
Okay.
years. I've done a
Excellent.
lot of presentations on it.
Awesome. Excellent. Excellent. And I'd add to that. Well, one, first of all, to back up, yes. I mean, most of your body's pretty efficient. If it'll save energy, right? If you're not using your bones, it'll dissolve them. If you
Right.
use them, it'll grow them, right? A lot of the processes are that way. You don't use it, you lose it, type of thing.
Yes.
But I'd also say that a lot of the disease states that, I mean, even the big ones, right? Cardiovascular disease, Alzheimer's, cancer, diabetes, are
Diabetes.
very much inflammatory response.
Yes. Yes.
And
All of them.
you're working your skeletal muscles, people are realizing are really important for mitigating that inflammation, particularly in a society that is really keen on fast acting carbs.
Yes. Yes. And lots of jogging, but nobody wants to lift weights. And what happens is you don't really have hypertrophy, muscle growth, if you don't actually challenge muscle
Yeah.
growth with heavy.
Yeah. If you don't need your muscles, your body will get rid of them.
Yes, it's
Just
the first
baggage,
thing that goes because
right?
it's expensive real estate.
Yeah.
It takes a lot of metabolism and a lot of energy to keep those muscles on your body. And so if you don't challenge them, they leave. And then guess what goes next? Your bone density.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. Preach, Janet, preach.
So muscle is the organ of longevity, ladies and gentlemen.
Yep. For sure, for sure. So yeah, a lot of misconceptions about that. A lot of people, I used to hear, like ladies would say, "Oh, I don't want to get big and strong." I was like, "Yeah, don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Here's some
We'll dial you back if that happens."
yeah. No, let's just stay away from the anabolic steroids, okay? You
Right.
don't have a problem.
Right. Okay. Excellent. And yeah, people are starting to appreciate protein again, which is nice.
Mhm. Yes, it is. I mean, it's very important. And actually, the thing about people that are trying to shave off 10 pounds, one of the easiest ways to do it is to make sure you're getting adequate protein and fiber, because those two food groups actually give you way more satiety for the calories. They make you feel full longer. And of course, helps your digestion and it helps your muscles and your bones to get the message to stay around.
Right. And your muscles consume a lot of or keep your metabolism up anyway as well.
Yes, they do. They're a glucose dump. So when you do eat some simple sugar or you have a scoop of ice cream, your muscles are like yum 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 and it'll just burn it up if you don't overdo it. But if you don't have that muscle and you're just skinny and kind of soft, that goes right to the belly.
Yeah. Yeah. Your body, like I said, is efficient. It's going to store it somewhere for later.
Yeah, right.
Yep.
It's evolutionarily programmed to do that. I mean, it means well. Your body, people get
Yes.
so mad at their bodies, like, why do I have this? Like, your body loves you. It's mad at you right now, but it loves you and it wants you to live. It's programmed to stay alive. And so when you offer it an experience like a banana split, it's going to say thank you and let me just stick it right on here somewhere
Right.
and maybe I'll need it later.
Yep. Yep. But we're not geared for having lots of it all the time. Our body
Right.
doesn't know how to deal with that. So when you overload it with fast acting carbs all day long, there's a limit to how much it can, and then you start getting systemic inflammation and other.
Yeah, the pancreas gets tired. It's like
Yep.
it's overworked. It should get the Employee of the Month award, And the
Right.
liver for people that drink too much, it's like, what are you doing? So
Right.
I always tell people that, people will, of course, if they're good, they'll go get their annual physical, get their blood work done so they can get all the markers. And they'll come back and say, my blood sugar is still normal. Like they feel like it's a triumph because they know they were worried because they know they aren't being very healthy in their diet.
Yeah.
But here's the thing that is really important for people to understand. Your blood sugar may be below the line where doctors say, okay, we're going to have to put you on meds.
Mhm.
Be below that line. But if your waistline is bigger around than your hips, then you have prediabetes because your pancreas is pumping out so much insulin,
Yep.
more than you need, and it's making you store fat around your middle. So it
Right.
doesn't show up in the blood test yet, but it will if you keep
Right.
going. Yeah.
Yep. Yep. And it's not that complicated.
No.
Your body, if it gets used to stuff, right? It adapts and stuff. So if you have insulin around all the time, you get type 2 diabetes because your body stops reacting to insulin because
Become
it's
insensitive.
become numb to it. You've had too
Yeah.
much of it for too long.
Yeah.
Um, a friend of mine gave me constant glucose monitor or whatever, which
Oh,
are over the
yeah.
counter now, which was super interesting because different people respond differently to different things, right?
Right.
Some people can have a glass of wine and be fine. Other people have a glass of wine, they get a big glucose spike and stuff.
Yeah.
But
They're more
also, some of the
sensitive.
things that I thought I was being good with were really bad for me. Like I had
Yeah.
a sugar-free chai latte mix I thought was pretty good, and I'd make that some mornings, and then I saw a huge spike because it was sugar-free, but it actually had maltodextrin in it, which is worse than sugar.
Yes. It's
So
tricky.
you gotta, yeah, the food companies are they know this, and they're clearly marketing it sugar free, knowing it's worse for you, which is pretty diabolical.
And we become more sugar sensitive the older we get. So and the metabolism slows down a little bit. We can pump
Right,
it back up by exercise and lifting and
right,
such, but still the inner workings become more sugar sensitive. So what you could sort of take in stride when you were 25 or 30, you can't do that now and not have a
right,
consequence.
right. Something else. Do you know Jessie Ishusipe, the glucose goddess on
Oh,
Instagram?
I've heard that. Yes, yes. I
Okay,
know of.
yeah,
Yes.
yeah. I read one of her books. The Glucose Revolution, I think it was. But it was interesting because one of the things she was talking about in there was how two people can eat the same food. One will lose weight, one will gain weight, depending upon the order in which they ate it. If you
Yes.
have your fiber first and your fats first and your protein and your carbs last, salad first, dessert last, you can
Yeah.
actually lose weight because it buffers and keeps your glucose steady. But if you have the bread at the table first, right,
Bread, the
and
tortilla
everything,
chips.
your glucose spikes and it stays elevated, and that whole time your body's just saying store everything, and it causes all the
Yeah.
problems. So
Yeah, it's true.
interesting.
That's the bread basket problem is because, it's lovely to have some bread when you first sit down and you're hungry, but if you can wait or ask for something else instead, yeah, try to get the protein, fiber, and the fats first,
Right,
and then have your garlic mashed
right.
potatoes.
Yeah, who knew that they flipped the food pyramid on us and lied
I
to us about that?
know.
But and yeah, there's good fats and bad fats.
Yes, there are some that are more healthy for the body because we do need fat,
Mhm.
and then there's others that are more processed and unnatural. And the body kind of goes, I don't know what to do with this. I don't
Right,
know. But like an avocado, it's like, okay, I know what to do with that. Yeah.
right, right. Okay, so let's talk a bit more about your training and stuff. Let's how long you been doing that, and who do you work with, things like that.
I got certified back in 2010 and worked at a couple different gyms. And then I reconnected with the gym owner who owned the gym that I first did my first bodybuilding show that I
Okay,
trained at, to get
okay,
ready. And he's kind of been a friend for a very long time. And he just opened this beautiful gym in kind of North Scottsdale. And so I connected with him and he said, you should train in my gym. And just kind of started there again. And like kind of like brought all my clients over. So I'm at this wonderful place now where the gym is meant to be for there's CrossFit trainers, there's bodybuilding trainers, there's strength trainers. And so it's kind of like a diversity of approaches, but it's really
okay.
fun because we learn from each
Nice.
other.
Do
Yeah.
you do group courses and classes as well as one-on-one?
I prefer one-on-one, and the reason is because I'm serious. I don't
Okay.
want you to be coming just because you want to do something with your friend. There are plenty of places you go to Orange Theory. That's the best place to go if you want to go with your friends. But I believe that when you come to the gym for strength training, it is all about you and
Right.
just what you care about and what you need to do. And it's very rare to get two people that are exactly on parallel tracks. There's usually one that's really fit and one that isn't, or one that wants to lose weight, or one
Sure.
that wants to get big. And So I find that everybody gets less. And if you come with one, then you are the focus, you are the spotlight.
Right.
And that's where I see the progress.
Yep. Nice. Okay. You reminded me of there's a meme of Dwayne Johnson when he's working out, the Rock, the big guy
Yeah,
for our
yeah,
listeners who know, and he's just doing reps on like on a machine with back workout or whatever, but he's pulling it back and he's just yelling focus,
yeah,
focus
yeah.
each time.
Right,
So
right.
yeah, it's easy to get distracted at the gym by listening to your headphones and other stuff. There's some people there who are focused and getting stuff done. It's obvious, right?
Well, yeah, go to yoga with your friends. That's fine, But I feel like there's other things you can do with your friends, but when you come to the gym, it is serious. It is on. That's
Yeah.
just my approach and that's my attitude. And that's why now that I'm on the verge of turning 70, people tell me, "Oh my God, I can't." Well, it's because I train just with the trainer and me. It's just for me.
Right.
And that's really the secret sauce for slamming those goals.
Okay. I like that. I like that a lot. That's it's intentional, right?
Yeah.
And the words we use too, I've been like you can read a book or you can study it, right? You can
Yes.
you can work out or you can train,
Yes.
right? And I like training. That's a better word.
Yeah. No scrolling. We
Right.
always say we have a joke, there's always somebody that will come and sit on a machine and they're resting. They're starting out and they're just looking at their phone and pretty soon it's been, 10 minutes and they're still sitting there. So we
Right.
always joke, no squatting in the texting rack.
Yep. That's it. Yeah. I had somebody come up to a guy next to me and he said, "Can I get in on some of those texts?"
That's awesome. Can I work in?
Yeah. Yeah.
I'm going to do that tomorrow. That's great. I like that.
Right. That was a good one. Can I get in on some of those texts?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay. So Janet, what have you done in the last 12 months that's changed your life?
Oh, a lot. So my fundamental belief is that easy is the enemy, challenge is the cure. And
Okay.
that's true for brain health, body health, healthy aging. And then the day comes where I have to actually do that. As I'm telling everybody else, challenge yourself. Like, oh, I guess I'm going to have to do that too. So
Yep.
a year ago, in fact, almost to the day, I made the decision because I want to be a public speaker and I need to launch myself out to a wider audience. And I want to speak now. I don't want to wait for some gatekeeper to say it's okay for me to get on their stage.
Yeah.
So I thought the best way to do that is to start a YouTube channel and
Okay.
a couple times a week do a 15-minute, 20-minute talk about something, nutrition, exercise, and philosophy to motivate people who are 45 or 50 and over. So the people that don't really care so much about a beach body, they want to feel good in their skin.
Have some energy.
Yeah,
Be
have
able to
energy,
do stuff still. Yeah.
pick up their grandkids and not throw their back out.
Right.
Simple things. So I started this YouTube channel. It's called Aging Strong for Life. And within a few months, it went up. I mean, I became monetized very quickly. Yeah.
Oh, nice. Good for you.
But it
Awesome.
was such a learning curve, Tim. I can't tell you. I mean, I didn't know anything about editing or
Oh,
planning a
sure.
calendar around my topics. All of a sudden, I had
Yeah.
a calendar and how to work the photo equipment and the tripod and the lights and the microphone and all this. And then
Cool.
pick a schedule because one of the things too is to pick a schedule or a pace for nobody's telling you to do it. So you have to
Mhm.
decide what am I going to do as far
Sure.
as how much content because you don't want to burn out. So you
Sure.
have to kind of pick a pace and hold yourself to the fire and keep up with it. Measure if if it's too much or if you can keep up. I have had so much personal and professional fulfillment from this because I have congregated this community of
Right.
like-minded people from all over the planet. I get people from Asia, from Canada, from Europe, from
Nice.
Africa. I mean, it's
That's
Australia, and they're all
that's
saying,
that's the power, right, of
"Oh,
virtual systems, and that's wide-reaching impact, and that's a
yeah,
legacy too, because that's going to grow and keep keep
Yes.
impacting other people.
Yes.
So
I'm
pass that
starting to
on.
tinker around with designing a course, like a kind of like
Do it. Do it. Yes.
yeah, that I can sell and have it and continue to help kind of with people in the community who really want more focus and more, mentorship on that. So I'm toying with that right now. But this YouTube channel has been the biggest thing over the year. Hiring a staff. I mean, what? I was
Okay.
always the staff. Now I have a staff. So,
Okay.
so that's fun. And in doing that, of course, being on a lot of podcasts because that helps the channel grow. And then the thing just a month ago was I hired a speaker agent. So now I have
Okay.
an agent who is going and pitching and finding the stages for me to go, health conferences, health and wellness, medical community because of the brain health aspect, um, like more like retirement community, any kind of convention. I just spoke at the Minnesota Social Services Association in
Okay.
Minneapolis, and it was like the most amazing experience. And the moment that I knew, I thought, oh, I cannot stop now, is I had 400 people and I gave this big speech and I got 400 people on their feet with a standing ovation
Nice.
and two
Very nice.
dozen people in line afterwards to talk to me. And
Awesome.
there's the ego boost, of course, but you never want to rely on the love of strangers, of course. But at the same time, it was a huge endorsement that
Sure.
I am on my way. And so
Sure. So that
that
was sort of my follow-up question for that was what sort of feedback are you getting from the community online and in person for what they're looking for and they're at what are their needs?
one one that was kind of interesting is I'm so glad I found you. My mother needs you. I'm going to give my this information to my mom, but mostly it's people who are saying things like, I used to work out in college and high school, and I just stopped because I had a family and I got busy.
Right.
And now, thanks to you, I have been working out now for 2 months and I've lost 15 pounds and I've got
Nice.
my life back and
And I
I'm
feel
so
better. And
thankful. Yeah,
yeah.
stuff like that, where I'm just like, oh, I could just, it's not even like the ego part of it. It's that good feeling you get when you really make a difference in somebody's life. That's
Yeah,
that's the satisfying thing.
heck yeah. That's
Yeah. So
awesome.
that's a
That's a
sample.
mission for sure.
Yeah, some of
What's
the
what,
go
sorry,
ahead.
Janet, what's your YouTube channel?
My YouTube channel is Aging Strong for Life.
Okay.
That's what it is. And it's Janet McConnell. So if you go onto YouTube and you just search my name, Janet McConnell, it'll you can see it's me for the
Okay.
yeah, the
Okay.
profile. But
Excellent.
it's Aging Strong for Life is the name of the channel. And I just dropped my 100th video.
Oh wow. You're
So
rolling.
yeah, we've been working at a pace, let me tell you. Um, and and just we're on the verge of getting to 3,000 subscribers. So I'm hoping to
That's
grow it a
great.
lot this next year. So yeah.
That's awesome. Congratulations. That's cool. So Janet, if people other than the YouTube channel, where else can people go to find you?
LinkedIn is a good place.
Okay.
I hang out a lot in LinkedIn because that's a business platform
Hmm.
for networking with other people, other health and wellness practitioners, people that work in, peptides or in health and wellness in general, or just different aspects of healthy longevity. So it's great for
Okay.
and so I spend time there and also post 5 days a week some inspirational or thought-provoking content for people who are wondering about how to age, how to change their habits, how to pivot and be healthier. What are some, starting points that you can use?
Okay. Very cool. All right. A website?
My website is ignitefitnesswithjanet.com.
Okay. All right. Awesome.
I have some bodybuilding pictures on there too, I think.
Oh, cool. Cool. You're gonna show off. Nice.
I've got some great before and after pictures. I have one that's 42 when I was borderline obese and
Okay.
had high blood pressure, high cholesterol. One at 52 on my first stage, and one at 62 about 5 years ago, 6 years ago.
Okay. Nice. Very cool. Very
So
cool.
I want to compete again this next year because I'll turn 70. And it's not even for a trophy, it's for the statement that it makes to the world.
Sure.
Yes, you can.
Heck yeah.
Maybe you
Awesome.
don't
That's
want to be a
great.
bodybuilder, but you can at least get in shape, you know?
Yep. Heck yeah. Okay. That's great stuff. Thank you. Is there anything else you wanted to discuss or share?
I think that covers it. I can't
Okay.
think of
We did a
anything else if
lot.
you, yeah, yeah.
Okay. Awesome. All right. Well, thank you. Thank you everyone for watching and listening. Thank you very much. Uh, Janet McConnell for joining me today. This has been, I've enjoyed it. I'm geek out on the healthy aspects of this and increasing my own, well, it's been kind of a health renaissance for the past 15 years or so, which has
Yes,
been great. So
yes. Thank you too.
thanks for sharing.
Thank you too, Tim. It was great.
Inspired by our guests? Visit phoenixprosperitypodcast.com/guest and join us on the show and share your success story with Tim. The spotlight awaits.